The latest modern audience slot game on the block is supposed to release in only 2 weeks, and we have heard nothing about it. It has been radio silence since the Game Awards, which is insane. People are speculating that it has been straight up canceled. And to top that off, apparently there was a small group of people that got to test it and they were saying it is terrible and it's nowhere close to being in the state you'd expect for a full-blown launch. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, when this was revealed at the Game Awards, everybody was furious because it looks like so many other games we've seen before, but to top that off, the trailer itself wasn't impressive. They didn't show an extended amount of gameplay. They didn't show an extended amount of a look at characters, right? It just was a lot of random stuff thrown into a teaser that was supposed to be bright and flashy and colorful and was supposed to get you excited, but every time we see games like this, nobody is hyped. I mean, when this is the biggest reveal at the Game Awards, you know that you're screwed. They got the prime time slot, and ever since then, they have been silent. Highguard has not posted on social media since their reveal trailer at the Game Awards, and at this point in time, it's set to release in 2 weeks. There are tons of gamers memeing on it saying Highguard is the first game to shut down before it launches is the headline I'm waiting for. And at this point, it wouldn't even shock me if it was delayed. If they announce, hey, listen, it's not actually close to release, we're taking into feedback your consideration, and we are going to delay it, I think that people would, of course, meme on it. But also, if you haven't been marketing it for several weeks, there's no hype building up surrounding it. I have said that I would play it maybe once because it's a free-to-play game, right? And so you can just download it and jump in and give it a shot. And I guess I'm just losing a few hours of my time. But ultimately, there are people out there who don't watch the Game Awards, that don't look on social media, and there's no advertisements on YouTube, on Twitch, there's no advertisements on X. Nobody's really talking about this, and when your team looks like they've abandoned it, yeah, it's going to lead to speculation that it's canceled. You can't expect a game to launch and not talk about it and then for players to show up. I mean, at this point, I think this is a 10K players in game maximum. And Highguard could be dead on arrival as gamers fear a flop is inbound. Yeah, people are calling it a Concord 2.0. It does look very similar to something like a Valorant and an Apex Legends and Concord all shoved together, and that is not something that's positive. It doesn't look like it's got any special or unique identity. It doesn't look like it's really that fun. It just looks like another modern audience slop game. It was always going to be tough for Highguard to succeed after the anticlimactic reveal it experienced during the December's The Game Awards ceremony. Many millions of viewers sat through hours of trailers and speeches to see what the final reveal would be, and then Highguard graced screens worldwide, falling somewhat flat and leaving gamers disappointed. Yeah, when that slot is typically reserved for the largest announcement of the evening, the once a year that this event happens, you wouldn't expect them to show up with Highguard, and this clearly also means that they paid a pretty penny for the slot, which also is mind-blowing that they paid millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, beat out the competition just to not talk about their game or market it at all whatsoever. It says that it was unexpected, but ultimately it's just another live service hero shooter that was quickly compared to the likes of Valorant, Overwatch, and yes, Concord, the ill-fated PlayStation shooter that was so bad it killed an entire studio. And if you even go to the YouTube uploads, it doesn't look very positive there either. 452,000 views, 4.8K likes to 57,000 dislikes, 103,000 views on their official YouTube channel. 1.4K likes to 13,000 dislikes. This is going to be a disaster. And at this point, they should just cancel it. They should just let it fade into oblivion. Maybe in like a year or two, they can launch it, but it's reskinned. It's got a better aesthetic, cooler characters, like something. Because if they launch it in this state, that's not going to go over particularly well for them. And apparently, there are people who were able to play test it, and they are saying, after playing, I can confidently say this shit is ass. So the first impressions are trickling out by, it seems, people who are professional players in other games, and they are saying that it is horrendous. You gotta be truly cooked to underperform when the bar was already in hell. Concord 2 or was it 3 shit? Who would have guessed? Play DEI game, win no prizes, FAFO. It was confirmed cheeks the first 5 seconds of the trailer at the Game Awards. Wow, imagine hyping up a new game for months just for the verdict to be ass. Developers need a reality check. Bro was just being honest. Well, that's good to know. And sure, I might give it a shot if it ever releases for a couple of hours, but I don't think anybody really feels a lot of hype or excitement for it at this point. And yeah, after likely paying 7 figures to debut at the Game Awards, Highguard has yet to post anything of meaning on social media. If you go to their X, they've got launching January 26th, 2026, but it's said this since the Game Awards. And well, yeah, the last thing was the Game Awards post. And if you go to their LinkedIn, they also haven't posted anything. Even if a studio doesn't have a large presence on like social media, generally they have a large following on LinkedIn and a large presence on LinkedIn because it's industry individuals talking to industry individuals, like it's business. But that's not the case. It goes without saying, but if you're entering an oversaturated market, you better bring something unique to the table. The whole they made Apex and Titanfall doesn't really matter here. Highguard looks like Concord and Paladins had a baby, and that is not a good thing at all. Highguard paid a huge amount to be the final reveal of the Game Awards. They haven't posted anything since that day a month ago, and the game is supposed to release in 2 weeks. Yikes. Highguard is starting to feel uncomfortably familiar. Flashy cinematics, no gameplay, dead silence after the reveal. Gamers are saying that it is a Concord level failure. Highguard could be the biggest flop of 2026. It has been in development for 4 years. The 3-minute trailer slot at the Game Awards cost $1 million plus, and because it is the final reveal trailer, I bet that price is even doubled. Trailer was $237. Social media hasn't posted since. Game hits Xbox, PS5, PC in 2 weeks. Bruh, this is awful. So I'll be keeping a close eye on this. I will be covering it more whenever we hear more about it. Imagine if they just let it fade into obscurity and that's it. That would be absolutely hilarious. Clearly, they put a lot of time and money into it, so I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. I think that they will try to at least redesign it if they delay it. But at this point, it might just be straight up canceled. They might delay it. Hell, I suppose they might never release it. Either way, it doesn't look good for them. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.